All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Felicia Marie Blandin, file number 21-20567FH. This is the date and time scheduled for contempt of court, rearrangement or pretrial and pretrial on the underlying file. Ms. Blandin failed to appear for court back on October 6th of 2000 and hold on, I'm gonna do a restart. All right, this is in the matter of people of the state of Michigan versus Felicia Blandin, file number 21-20567FH. I'm Salvatore Malaro on behalf of Ms. Blandin, and I have, let's go with Allison Arnold appearing on behalf of the people. Mr. Malaro, we are here on a contempt of court for failure to appear since October 6th of 2021, as well as the underlying pretrial that she failed to appear for. Mr. Murphy handles this file. Mr. Murphy is in another court right now, Ms. Blandin. Mr. Malaro, you stated that you would be handling this today for Mr. Murphy. The underlying charge is illegal sale use of a financial transaction document. So, Mr. Murphy, how would you like to proceed today? Or Mr. Malaro, how would you like to proceed?
Yeah, on behalf of Mr. Murphy, Your Honor, we'd ask to adjourn out for a further pretrial on the underlying charge. I'm not, after looking at the file, I don't know if we can deal with the contempt at this point due to the possibility of an absconding charge. So I would ask to adjourn those out as well. Mr. Murphy wanted me to address her bond. She has a bond hearing for a misdemeanor this afternoon in district court. So I would ask the court.
What is the misdemeanor charge?
I think it's I didn't look at the actual charging document, but it looked to me to be a retail fraud, Judge.
Okay.
So I'd ask the court to set this set of minimal bonds on these files.
All right.
He is a resident. Looks like your last known address is Adrian, so
Where do you live, Ms.
it does
Blandin?
appear to be local.
I live in Clayton at 9988 Clayton. It's West Carlton Road. I've been there for about 9 months now. I am in the process of trying to get a job, and I really want to get this behind me. I apologize for not turning myself in. It's a little scary to turn yourself in. It's my fault. I get that. And I do want to take care of it. So if anything, if I was able to get out too, I will be to court. I can't remember if it was this court date that I did show up for, but I was 15 minutes late and they told me that I had missed it the previous day, or if it was the other charge that I had missed court for, because I had showed up to check in and I was 15 minutes late for one of my court dates. And then if it was switched, I don't know if it was
Ma'am, you kind of pled not guilty to failure to appear. So at this point, I understand that, but you had 2 years to ask for a pretrial. I'm going to set this for another pretrial on September 13th of 23 at 8:30 in the morning. I'm going to leave her bond in place. Mr. Malaro, you can let Mr. Murphy know, depending on what happens in district court, he can reach out to the court and the prosecutor again. All right?
Yes, I will, Judge.
Okay. All right. So we'll see you back next month, Ms. Blandin, but understand that Mr. Murphy will probably reach back out. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, so now we are back on the record with people of the state of Michigan versus Tiffany Schumacher. So, Mr. Malaro and Ms. Arnold, we had an opportunity to have a bench conference. There's a whole lot of stuff going on here. So, Mr. Malaro, you're asking for a new pretrial?
I am, Judge. If I could have a brief breakout with her, explain her potentially what we're doing.
All right.
Yeah, I still would ask for a pretrial, and then if we get this resolved before that, I know the court's amenable to letting us come in early.
Okay. So Ms. Schumacher, I am going to set this over for another pretrial on September 6th at 8:30 in the morning. And that'll be via Zoom. I'm gonna put you in a breakout room. Are you on Donald Jack Rose?
I am.
So Mr. Murphy, Mr. Millar, what I will say is I have him as well as a courtroom for people for another hearing that we're running a little bit behind on. So I can give you just 2 minutes or so with her, but I won't be able to give you a large amount of time with her. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine, Judge.
All right, Ms. Schumacher, I'm going to put you in a breakout room with Mr. Millar. Go ahead and join that breakout room.
Thanks, Judge.
All right. And Becky, if you could let the jail know, we'll take down Rose. You want to get them back in? We're not gonna be able to do that hearing.
Judge, I believe that there was a chat message earlier about Rose being in custody out of county.
I don't know. I haven't had time to read the chat, so.
Judge, I do see a PR bond from July 20th.
Yeah, I believe he's in Allegan County.
Well, that makes life a little bit easier. All right. So we'll have to do a writ, I guess, for him.
I will, you want it for in person or?
No, I don't know. Let's get his attorney back in.
We subpoenaed several people for it too, so they may be in the chat room.
Yep, they are. So let's get them. So I have Amy McLaughlin, Bradley Crew, and Deputy Hemps.
Yeah, my list shows Bradley Crew, the field agent, Deputy Anthony Esposito, Deputy Hemston, and Officer Alyssa McLaughlin.
So I do not have Esposito, but I do have Deputy Hemston. Yeah. Deputy Hemston, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. My camera went black.
No, it's all right. Miss McLaughlin, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, we got Bradley Crew connecting. Let me close this breakout room. Come on, Mr. Crew. Mr. Millar, real quick, what's his name? Donald
Rose.
Jack Rose. We had this up for this morning, so Ms. Schumacher, you're all set.
Judge, I'll do the stip in order on Ms. Schumacher.
Okay. So in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Donald Jack Rose, file number 23-20973FH. Mr. Crew is still not connected to audio. All right, I've sent a connection message. Mr. Rose evidently is incarcerated unbeknownst to us somewhere.
I was told Allegan County, Judge.
Yeah, so we didn't know that. So we will have to reschedule this and do a writ. Would Zoom be all right, Mr. Millar?
Yeah, I'm always good with Zoom with you, Judge.
Okay. So why don't we set this over? The people do the writ, so it might take a couple of weeks. Why don't we set this over to 11. Okay. Attorneys, 9 o'clock. Why don't we should this take long?
It shouldn't take long, Your Honor. I wouldn't think more than half hour, 45 minutes.
So I could set this over to. I could set it over to 11 on August 31st. No, there's a bench trial. Never mind. Hold on. let's see. I could do. No. I think I can do, Miss Adams, did I set something else this morning for August 11th at 11? Did I?
I think we were going to possibly do one from yesterday.
But I didn't, okay. What about August 11 at 11 a.m.? Mr. Blandin,
That works for me, Judge.
Mr. Malaro?
Just a moment.
Then I would ask Mr. Crew, Miss McLaughlin, or Deputy Hempston. Are you all available August 11th at 11 a.m. or nobody's on vacation?
I'm available, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Crew. Deputy Hempston?
I can make that work.
Okay. Miss McLaughlin?
I'm checking to see if I might already have court that day in Allegan.
Mr. Malaro?
Yeah, I can do that day, Judge, in that time.
Who is Miss McLaughlin on this one? She probation officer or police officer?
I'm a police officer from Siegel Police Department. I assisted Deputy Hempson.
Okay. All right. So do we need her in addition to Deputy Hempson?
No, I can make do with Deputy.
Are you going to be available at that time, Miss McLaughlin?
Yes, I can be available at the time.
All right, so I'm going to set this over to August 11 at 11 a.m. Mr. Bandetto, make sure you advise your office they need to do the writ, okay?
Do that as soon as I get back to the office.
Yep. So August 11 at 11 a.m. Mr. Stevenson, are you available? Is that you?
Yes, I'm available. One issue we may have, he's in jail over in Allegan County. We need to issue a bench warrant. If he's released from Allegan County, he's not going to come here to court. We won't see him again.
We don't, Judge, we don't know that.
We don't want what, him to come back?
No, we don't.
I don't believe he's going to come back on his own.
I mean, I
Well,
appreciate Mr.
Here's my problem, Mr. Malaro. I probably would only do that because to put a holder on him, just because if he gets released and they don't give him the paperwork, he wouldn't know.
Well, you earlier granted him a PR bond, Judge.
Well, yeah, look what he did. He went to jail.
Yeah, and one other thing that came up when our deputy went to transport him back here, he attempted to bite the deputy and he made death threats against our deputy and his family. So that's why there's new charges over in Allegan County.
Do we have?
So what I'm gonna do is set bond in $25,000 cash bond. So I won't issue the bench warrant, so it won't show as a bench warrant, but we'll change his bond to $25,000 cash.
Can I get this report that Mr. Stevenson just referred to?
Well,
The prosecutor's office has that report.
Okay.
Okay, so, all right, so we'll see you back on August 11th at 11. You'll do the writ, Ms. Adams will do the bond, and hopefully nobody gets bit. All right, Ms. McLaughlin, thank you. Mr. Crew, Deputy Hempston, is it Deputy McLaughlin?
Officer McLaughlin.
Okay, Officer McLaughlin, thank you, and Deputy Hempstead, thank you. Your subpoenas are continued to August 11th at 11 a.m. Same Zoom number, all right?
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you,
All right,
Your Honor.
thank you. All right, and Ms. Adams, if you need any of these files in the book, you can get them. Okay, so,
We still have Mr. Murphy's,
no,
I left
it's
mine.
Mr. Malaro handled that.
Okay,
So
perfect.
Ms. Blandin was set for pretrial on September 13th of 2023.
Perfect. Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good
All
day.
right, and that should conclude our entire,
So I thought that was the only one I had.
okay, so I'll see you this afternoon. No, that's not. Okay, so from murder to mayhem. So Mr. Lewis, you want to come have a seat right there? Mr. Brooks, your clients can come have a seat by you. Yep, Mr. Lewis over there. All right.
Judge, we are all set with arraignment.
We are all set for criminal docket.
Thank you.
All right, so this is in the matter of James Nagpal versus Lisa Weddle, and Lisa Weddle versus Kenneth Lewis, file number 21-6794 CZ. I have Michael J. Brooks appearing on behalf of the plaintiff. So I have a motion affidavit and or order to show cause that Mr. Lewis filed on June 5th of 2023, which alleges that, which states that he requested an order directing Mr. Nagpal and Ms. Weddle to be found in civil contempt of court. And then we had some issue with notice of hearing. I know. With some, do you want to take these to Ms. Adams? And Mr. Brooks had another hearing, he'd been out of the office, didn't get the notice in time, and so we set it over to today. So, Mr. Lewis, the allegations in this are that, okay, so the allegations are that Mr. Nagpal installed at least half a dozen no trespass signs on property lines directed at Mr. Lewis's property with the orange rope strung around the property. And he alleges that's a violation because it's an attempt to communicate, annoy, and harass Mr. Lewis. And that once the signs were installed, one of the signs was in front of horseshoe pit area that he has maintained and used for recreation purposes. And then Mr. Nagpal installed the third camera directed at Mr. Lewis's property to annoy and harass Mr. Lewis. And Mr. Nagpal submitted a police report falsely claiming that Mr. Lewis had taken the signs, which he has cameras, he would have proof of that. Mr. Lewis and his daughter arrived home on May 27th, and Mr. Nagpal began flicking his outdoor lights on and off multiple times. And as of May 30th of 23, Mr. Nagpal has not shielded his lights. Are they shielded now?
Nope.
All right. So, Mr. Brooks filed an answer back today, filed an answer today. Did you get a copy of that?
I did around 4 o'clock yesterday. It was dated as yesterday. I didn't get to read it.
Well, it was just file stamped today. So you did not get a chance to read it?
I did, yes.
Okay. And let's see, so Mr. Brooks. Mr. Brooks has attached light shield receipts. Do you Do you have that, you didn't attach the receipts to this, Mr. Brooks?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I can't hear
You
you.
said you have receipts, from SKS Power and Light.
I did. It should be in there. It's not there.
Let me see, maybe it's exhibit A. Yes, it is. So exhibit A is SKS Power and Light. Shows that he paid $100 to SKS Power and Light to install porch shield lights on 2 light fixtures in the backyard lights. Okay. Was that, and that was from March 29th. Okay. 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 So, are you ready to proceed on a hearing? Yes. Do we really have to have a hearing on this? I mean, if I find proof that there's 30 signs facing this house, that's annoying. I got proof that light shields were complied with. And if they were installed, I mean, that's the documentation I have.
I have one point that I would like to make when the time's appropriate.
Okay, so, Mr. Lewis, do you have an opening statement you'd like to make?
Yes.
You might step up to the podium.
As the court will recall, approximately the middle of July of 2021, I sent 2 letters to one to the Downs across the street from me and one to Mr. Roberts, which is a neighbor. I asked them to change or shield their lights that they recently put up that were much brighter than the ones they had. Both of those people, my letter showed up on Inside Onstead.
No, I know that.
Okay, Mrs. Weddle got a copy of that from Mrs.
So,
Downs.
Mr. Lewis, I'm gonna stop you there. So we've already gone through all that,
Okay,
all right? So we're only focusing on your show cause this time.
okay,
I know you guys better than I know my own neighbors at this point.
okay,
So I just want you to focus on the one, let me see, we have, one, let's see, number 3, number 4, number 5. That's all I want you to focus on, and just a brief opening statement about the allegations you've made on this. So I guess we could start with, you know, he's saying light shields were placed on. Have you noticed a difference in the lighting?
no, as a matter of fact, I took this picture last night from my bedroom window because our light is still shining into my bedroom. And after doing that, my eyes were bothered for about 30 minutes or so after that, because I lifted the blinds and moved the black bed sheet that I have folded in half and taped to my bedroom window that's been still up since they installed these lights. I took these pictures. I have the exhibits right here that I printed off this morning, Exhibit K, that shows that their light is still shining, and this is from my bedroom, that it's still shining into my house. If this light was shielded, you would not be able to see that light.
Well, even with the shield, you'd be able to see light.
Well, it would be, as the court order stated, their light is supposed to be, if they can't move the lights, adjust them, it's supposed to be shining down.
You have pictures of the lights with shields.
Sounds like he got them himself. So I don't have, do I have some here of the shielded lights? No. But we shielded them in March.
And the thing is like, we had a hearing in April and they never even mentioned anything about putting these shields up. And there is, the thing is these shields, if they even exist, they're not shielding the light. It's still about the same as it was before.
So you have
when
no
this started.
photographs of your lights with the shields on them?
My video shows it that we submitted. You can see how
You have a video.
faint the light is on our deck, and you can see his house from that video.
Well, I'd rather see a picture of what your house looks like.
The video, yeah, the camera video
Okay,
shows
hold
it
on.
all.
All right, so then, okay, so you're saying back in, and then you're saying that Mr. Nagapal installed a third camera,
Yep, and then he just installed a fourth one a few weeks ago.
and they're all facing your house?
Yeah, there's 2 trail cameras. There's one up on the corner of their house that is directed at my house, and that's been up there for a couple years. And he even admitted that there
Right,
was a camera, and then there was another camera. So they have like 4 cameras pointing to my house. And the thing is you stated either change the light bulbs or shield the lights. They have not changed the light bulbs, which you can't court order them to do, and the lights are not shielded. They're still playing games. They did this to purposely harass me. And it's been going on for well over 2 years now. They don't even
you have
use these
pictures of
same.
these signs?
Hmm?
You have pictures of the signs?
Yes, they are included in my, the motion that I.
Yeah.
And they did this approximately a week after the hearing, after you made a ruling in
Okay.
April.
So you've seen the pictures?
I have.
Let's see, so we got the signs, you talked about that, you talked about the camera, got the sign by the fire pit. And you allege these flicking of lights, do you have video of that?
No, I can't, me and my daughter came home.
Okay, that's all, okay, all right, Mr. Brooks, real brief, have a seat, Mr. Brooks, real briefly, do you have an opening statement?
Very briefly. The reasonable man standard, not the Mr. Lewis standard. That is the standard you have to use to determine whether or not my client's porch lights are unreasonable. I would love to tell you there are standards that have been adopted by the state of Michigan. There have not. So the question is whether or not a reasonable man would be offended by my client's porch lights.
So do we have to do a site visit after dark?
I think the question is, you can sit right there right now and decide whether Mr. Lewis is a reasonable man.
Well, it depends, I can't tell by looking at that whether it is an issue. So do we need to schedule a time to go there at
I'm-
9 o'clock at night?
I'm sure that my clients would welcome your visit.
You gotta go too.
I don't want to go.
I don't care.
And you can come in my room too, and you could see the light shining right on my walls. And you stated in court that even these 5,000 K lights, that they bother you in the headlight. And that's what it looks like. It looks like a headlight flashing right out of my house.
We're talking about car lights. All right, so. This is something.
Can I point something else out?
Yes,
If you look, you're going to see there's a fairly recent case, 2023 case, Court of Appeals. Said if the court hypothetically were to order these lights turned down too much, particularly on the stairs, that would negate the defense of an open and obvious defect. In other words, it would expose my clients to liability if somebody fell on their stairs, if you had made him turn down his lights to the point Mr. Lewis is satisfied. That's a fairly new case. You may or may not be aware of it.
Your Honor.
just give me a second,
Okay.
everybody talk for a minute.
Is the court looking at the video?
I'm looking for the videos. Okay, looks like you
I
must have
never-
emailed them to Mystic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're on my, I do see 3 videos. Okay. Okay, so there are 3 videos.
And audio. There's some very significant audio on there.
I've never received a copy of these exhibits.
Did you send those? to him?
I
Hold on,
request-
everybody, hold on. Did you send a copy to him?
No, I did not, Your Honor. I didn't get notice of this hearing until 24 hours ago. I got something.
24 hours ago?
Huh? Yeah.
I told you last time we were here about this hearing.
Well, Your Honor, I got a formal notice that this was scheduled on 7/24/23. It was adjourned to 8/2/23.
Why no, but you came to court the 24th and said
I
you
did,
hadn't
I
received
did,
notice.
said I had no notice.
Right, but I told you on the 24th. So
Right.
we set it for today. So you had notice on the 24th, which is about a week ago. Okay, so. Okay.
Your Honor, this isn't about what they can see, or we're not here to relitigate this case. We did that for a day and a half.
I know, it's a show.
And it was very clear that the light was supposed to be directed down. They can use whatever bright lights they want to, but they're not supposed to be shining
I
into
understand
my
that.
room.
I understand that. But I can't really see your photos because they're black and white.
I
And
did send them to Sierra McGrain and they're a lot more clearer. And I sent them last week and I sent them today, but they, for some reason, it keeps on rejecting her email.
it's too big of a
address.
file, probably, maybe.
No, I cut them down into 2 emails. And so I wasn't able to get them through.
Okay. So, all right, so, okay. The signs. Take the damn signs. I don't care. You're not.
Approach. This is not
Stop
a
it.
conversation. Just listen. You're not
You know how
gonna
much
act like
time
this.
of your lives you guys are sucking away? Don't talk, either of you. So listen, the signs come down. If you're trespassing, they can charge you, so don't go on their property. I don't care. Don't go on their property. I don't want you to put one toe over that line. Can you put up a fence? I don't know. You can put up a 10-foot fence.
Well,
if you want.
if these cameras and stuff doesn't get resolved, I am gonna do something about
Yeah,
all this
so
stuff.
I mean, if it was me, put a fence up. It would also help to block light. But, you know, if I go look at these cameras or I go look at these lights at night and they're directed down majority, I mean, you're gonna be able to see their porch light at night. But I don't know, I can't really tell from the pictures. I can't really tell from the still on this video. I mean, it shows a really bright, like incredibly, stop talking. A really incredibly bright light on her porch, but I don't know what it looks like from your house. So, I mean, I guess I could come out at one night and look at it, and Mr. Brooks, you're going too.
Yes.
But, you know, it sounds more like you're just antagonizing each other. So those signs would take. Listen, if he's trespassing, you call the police.
I did.
And then if he gets charged, he gets charged. If you got proof of it on your video, then he can be charged. But I mean, one sign's enough. At this point, I'm not asking you questions.
Don't use Mr.
So-
Lewis as your example. Don't talk over the judge, ever.
So I can adjourn this and I can do a time and date where I come out and look, because I really can't tell from the exhibit you sent me. I mean, I have a receipt showing that a diffuser was put, or something was put on to direct the light downward. You know, private property, no trespassing. I can't really do much about that. If it was me, I'd put a really tall fence up.
We'll take them down, Your Honor. I'm not arguing that point.
I mean, I would be a little pissy if my neighbor put up a big red sign and orange string, but that means you don't even go near the property line. You don't flip off their camera. You don't antagonize them either. Okay? You guys have to stop because you're kind of feeding it. Guys, I know you hate each other and it's fine. You don't have to like each other. You're just neighbors. You just have to ignore each other. And before I can do anything else, I need to go look at the lights, Mr. Brooks. I really can't tell from the stuff that's been given to me. All right?
Tonight?
Not tonight.
Was that a yes?
No.
Oh,
Can't be tonight. Can't be tomorrow night. I'm not going on a weekend. What time's it get dark? Sunset. What's it? Sunset is 8:53, so it'll be 9 p.m. Are you in like Onstead or on a lake?
It's in Lock Aaron, right off of 50.
Yeah. Okay. Check something real quick.
It doesn't get dark until about 10 o'clock.
I'm not going up to that. I should have probably phrased that better. Just ask my husband to do a drive-by. Can you check your text and answer me? Okay. Bye. Okay, so, I can meet you out there, Mr. Brooks, at 9 p.m. tonight.
Tonight? I'll be there.
Everybody gonna be home?
It's really not dark at 9 o'clock.
It's dark enough for me to figure.
Okay.
All right. Okay, I won't be going in your house though. I may stand outside, but I don't go in houses. All right. So I'll see you guys tonight at 9.
Just, are you coming, like, are we all gonna be out there, or how does this work?
You be outside of your house, you be outside your house, you be in the road, parked by your car, all right? Okay, all right, we'll see you tonight at 9.
Thank you.
Thank you.